Am I in focus?
If this world were mine.
Hey, I'ma know my 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Jessestential Crisis. Now, first things first, I just want to get into something real. Jonathan Bailey in Jurassic World Rebirth. How are you going to put those slutty little glasses on that man and have him talk about dinosaurs and not expect mine to be purring? Because it was. From the clips that I've seen, it was. So, can't wait. This one's going to be kind of a bit of a weird one. It's reflecting a lot again, and it's for the girls, gays and nays out there. It's a bit of a scary time, especially for the dolls and for anybody else out there who is queer. And believe it or not, we go through a lot of different life experiences that are different to what straight people go through. Gonna call this like gay grief. In a way, we're all kind of grieving some kind of experience or version of ourselves that we never actually got to show, or a bit of a life that we never really got to live. When I say grief, I don't think I'm talking about like the experience of like attending a funeral or losing someone. It's more of like the loss that you have because of what opportunities you missed out on. I think what brought this to my attention was I was out for my friends leaving drinks this weekend. Wasn't drinking, you boys sober. There was a guy on the bar, right? And this guy had a delicious little mustache, curtains going. I was trying to, pluck up the courage of trying to speak to him and figure out whether he's a bit zesty or fruity. Everyone was shocked to see that I went absolutely mute and had no idea on how I should potentially go about introducing myself to them, because it's so awkward. And I feel like from a young age you're engraved of this, like, don't assume, like don't put yourself out there, don't put it in people's faces because it's too much for them to handle. The nice thing about it was I can actually say now the people that I mix with kind of diminished that. In fact, Ellis, if you're watching, he was giving me tips on how you go about pulling. He knew that, and he's younger than me. Why don't I know that? I think it's because that awkwardness of putting something so strong on someone straight away was a lot. Again, I've only really had like 2 relationships, I guess you can call them. They all came from an age where like I feel like it's quite common for people to start expressing themselves and understanding themselves a little bit more. But it was a bit more delayed than the people that I'm friends with or the people that I know, because they all had their first relationship at the teenage years. And I didn't even understand who the hell I was at that age. I guess what I'm trying to get out of this episode is being gay and trying to experience love like you see in the movies isn't always the fairy tale that it is, what it's portrayed to be. Especially when we've got things like Heartstopper out there that bring on this gay grief. You're grieving, you're watching these 2 teenagers fall in love and have this experience. Don't get me wrong, it's not the nicest experience still, but you get to watch that, when in reality loads of people never ever get that experience, including myself. I remember when that came out, as comforting as it was and as nice as it was, it's not entirely accurate. Now, I was in high school from 2012 to 2016, so I was a closet case. Now, there were gay people in my school, but bullying for that kind of stuff was still pretty prime. Now, I did get the odd little gay boy comment, but I disguised it because I was fat and I was also a theatre kid.
All my life I've loved you before. I keep asking God what I'm for, and he tells me, gee, I'm not sure.
They targeted me for that. Everything we had, like that when you was gay, was like so top secret. Like it was kind of like this weight was always on your chest. And I'm not saying it's easier now. We've now got to a point where being gay or queer is it's kind of like, well, here we go. Let's go from there. I was a teacher and I've done my training to be a teacher, but it's so celebrated being gay now, whereas before it wasn't really a thing that was kind of even promoted when I was in school. Not saying promoted, because you don't promote being gay. There wasn't these clubs, there wasn't these societies, there wasn't all these different things that was welcoming for queer people to experience, whereas now it's quite a big thing in schools, which is great. I am not knocking it. But again, it comes with that grief, because I was fucking terrified to even be myself in school. And that's the sad thing about it, is I missed out on a lot of teenage years that my straight friends got to experience. For example, I never got to kiss a boy until I turned 17, whereas a lot of my friends who were straight had their first kiss at like 13. I also didn't get to have a prom date because I wasn't out. It's crazy how people's experiences are so different just because of like your sexual orientation, and that's not even just for me. Now, I feel like the way to try and put this across, I want to try and let me just give you my coming out story, for example. I tried to come out at 15, but didn't. Picked myself back up and threw myself in that closet because I was told, and probably in the nicest way possible, not from anything bad, if I was coming out, I had to be sure on it. I came out as bisexual to family members. Kind of glad that did happen, because if the society that we was in during that time period probably wouldn't have been best for me to have come out then. So what I did was obviously pick myself up, throw myself back in that closet. But then, a few years down the line, I met a boy in college doing a performing arts degree. Not to stereotype, the closet was glass. After meeting this boy, we went on a few dates. People were getting, suspicious about it. And then eventually I came out via text message to my mum. Thankfully, my mum has more balls than me and told everyone. And she was the ultimate protector and made it out as if anyone fucks with me, they're fucking with her. But I think now at 24, I'm kind of feeling, even though I've had those relationships, would it have been better if it was as easy as things like Heartstopper made it out to be? Probably not. If that came out a little bit earlier, would I have understood myself a little bit more? Maybe. Who knows? Instead, what I did was had conversations with men on the Kick app. Don't fucking do it. Don't go on Tumblr. I don't even think that's really relevant these days anyway. But that was my kind of outlet where I had my secret life. But, it is what it is. I mean, subconsciously, I think now in the relationship realm of things, I'm probably just about hitting 17 years age mentally. Now I understand myself, I know what I need, I know what I want, but I'm so behind mentally because of that kind of hidden aspect of not being able to go on these dates with boys or hold hands with a boy in public because I was too scared. And I guess it's finally nice to be at that stage where I can understand myself and what I want and what I need without having that fear. And we've come a long way. We've fought for rights, we've pushed it, but we're also reverting a lot of stuff. But my final message is for all those little gay boys, girls, and theys, all the people that celebrate and are queer, time is coming. It will. We'll find our way. I mean, we'll throw more fucking stones if needed. And I'm glad we've got some of the media out there that kind of celebrates gay love and, queerness. But if you feel behind, which you might do if you're my age and you're still a bit confused and you still don't know how things should pan out, we're all in that kind of place together because we're all less, is it emotionally immature compared to our straight counterparts? Not even emotionally, because we're quite emotional people, but we'll get there. Let's just stop talking about it. We'll get there. If you're in your 20s and you're feeling behind, grieving a life that you probably never got to have, don't worry. It's probably going to happen when we least expect it. And yeah, if you want any more stories on this, let me know, because I will. Jessestential crisis over.